Good morning, this is Jason Dupree with OCR Talk is what we're going to be calling it this year. I don't know for sure if I'll even publish this, but I was driving home from dropping myself at school, and today is my birthday, and I'm going to the Spartan, first race in the U.S. National Series this weekend. And I just thought, why not? I don't know. I started trying to do some video game streaming recently, and I've done it before, never consistently though. And that's the idea, is I want to do it consistently this time. So just like not on a consistent schedule necessarily, but just any time that I race. My brain is all over today. Anytime I game, why not? Why not stream? Because for one, it gives me some entertainment. Because, and this is the whole reason why I bring this up. Right now, the way that I'm talking to you is a performance. If we were in a conversation, if you were in this car with me, I wouldn't be talking like this. And I know that that's the case. It's just a weird thing that I think about it every so often, because when you're in front of a camera, it changes things. When you sit on your computer and stream for what could be nobody could ever watch it. But it's still just different. It just changes it. Talking to yourself. And it makes me wonder if people that are like influencers, if they think about this stuff. And my thought is they don't, and that's probably why they're able to do what they do without feeling like morons, because it just feels weird. It feels weird to say, what I have to say is important enough that I'm going to talk to myself so that other people can listen to it. And I think this is kind of a rant that I would probably send to my close friends normally, but here I am recording for you guys, and so why not? So if you ever run into this, if you decide, hey, I want to do something, I want to produce some content in some fashion, and if you get into your own head, because it is a weird thing, it's just odd that we do this as humans, entertainment. When you're paid to do entertainment, like if you're on a show and they say, okay, stand here and do that, but that's one thing. But when you tell yourself, I'm going to talk into this microphone and I'm going to perform for no one and put it out to the world, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It's just a weird thing. Entertainment's a weird thing, and that it's such a big industry. And just the fact that, like, as people, we want to be heard, we want to be seen. It's just odd, very odd. I don't have any answers. I guess the thing to say about it is, if you want to do it, understand that it's going to be weird. If it feels weird, just get over it. It's going to be weird. Just deal with it and understand that you do have a voice, and maybe it's not a million people. Maybe it's not Mr. Beast numbers. Maybe it's not even OCR Tech Talk numbers. But you have people that want to hear you. It might be a couple people. It might be 10 million. No matter what that number is, there are people that want to hear you. And there will be people that disagree with you. And people that disagree with you and dislike you because they disagree with you. And that's part of it too. Like, if you want to put your voice out there to everybody, then you also have to put your voice out there to the ones that don't like your voice. There might be some people that listen that's come across this and say, what the hell is this guy talking about? What an idiot. And then they turn it off. Or they say, man, I ain't never listen to that again. And that's fine. That's okay. This is not the content for them, obviously. But there is some other content out there. Maybe the content that you make is the content that they want to hear. I didn't even, I just started this. Didn't even think about putting on a mic. Not that I have one with me, but that's so apologies for the audio. Actually, I'll run the audio through the Adobe Audio Enhancer, which is a fantastic tool if you do start something like this. And look at us. Who would have thought? Carlo, friend, right? This is a great tie-in to what this podcast is about, Tech Talk. So, OCR Talk has turned into me talking about the behind-the-scenes stuff of producing OCR live and post-live race coverage. And so now I'm turning it around to just producing stuff like this, just even podcast content. Adobe Audio Enhancer is basically an AI tool, and if you have a Adobe license, I think it's free, but I don't know if it is free outside of that. I know it's free if you have the license, that you can use it. But if you just look it up and go see if it's available to you, you upload your video, your audio to it. You have to rip the audio from this video to do so, but you upload the audio to it, and then you can actually give it a range. So like how loud it is in the car. If I don't talk loud enough, then my voice kind of blends into the background and it'll cut out. If I turn the power, I forget what the word for it is, but if you turn the option up all the way, the strength of the converter, it'll cut you out sometimes. So I'm usually going around 90%. You probably cut it down even a little more. If you're in a room without car sounds, then you can put it even lower. But basically, it's going to take out all the background noise for you and really enhance and brighten your voice so that it sounds like you did it with a more professional mic. I'm doing this just with the phone mic or the car mic, whatever one it's, I'm on Bluetooth, so maybe it's connected to here. I'm not really sure. Is it? If I tap on this, is that doing anything? I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, super easy tool. Instead of having to go through and do a bunch of EQ and stuff yourself, EQ standing for equalizer. Instead of having to do all that yourself, then just use Adobe Audio Enhancer. That's one of the things I've used to just make it a quicker process. So the whole reason why I wanted to continue doing OCR Talk, but I didn't want to have to add a lot of work to my time, because I got a lot of other stuff going on. There's a lot of time that goes into the live stream and stuff. So, yeah. So one of the things that I do is use Adobe Audio Enhancer to just make it quick. I don't spend a lot of time on my thumbnails anymore. I don't edit. Yeah, that's it. Just make it quick and fast. You ever go to QT? You got QT where you're from? Quick Trip is a gas station, and I found that I like a lot. I like the way that they do things. They've got everything there, and I got myself a caramel latte. It's my birthday. I don't really drink coffee often, but figured something a little sweet, but also a little pick-me-up would be good. A little caffeine too. One of the cool things that they do is whenever you're leaving or you check out, they tell you, see you later. They don't say, thanks, come again, or any of that stuff. They say, see you later, which is basically saying, I know you're going to come back, so I'll see you then, which I like. I like that. It's like a little personal touch. Like, we're friends, so I know we're going to see it. We're going to see each other again, so see you later. Gotta be. Anyways, I'm going to, let's see, what's been going on this year? We did Mettle Games in Kuwait, which was freaking amazing. Super awesome opportunity that we had where they wanted to bring us in to do their live coverage for the race. They had fantastic cell signal out there. So the video feed was really good. Show wasn't perfect, obviously, but it was, overall very, very good. getting to hang out with all the athletes out there was awesome. Obviously, spending time with Will and Francesca was and was anybody else on our team there? No, it was just us three. And the Rabbits, getting to meet Martin Perrier and the other guys that I didn't know the other guys before that. Obviously, I knew Martin from doing. Martin was on a TV show called Spartan X with Francesca. That's how they know each other from way back in the day. It was not Spartan related, like Spartan the race brand related, but anyway. So yeah, he's a cool guy. Getting to hang out with him, get to know him some was really nice. And Muhammad that put on the race, he's done lots of Spartans himself, other races, and he just wants to help bring more OCR into Kuwait. Evan Prepares just went to Hannibal Race, which is one that they've been having out there for quite a while. And so Muhammad just looking to bring in more. Put on a fantastic race. For his very first race, every race, even Spartan to this day, still has issues at their races. For his very first race, it went amazing. Like, we really wish they would have had a bigger crowd for them, obviously for more people to see it. But they got a ton of content for marketing purposes to continue to do it. And I know he's been looking at different places that they can make it happen. Possibly in Saudi Arabia and a couple of other neighboring countries, I think. But man, he made us want to come back for sure. Like, the hospitality that he gave us and the athletes was just top notch. Like, I don't know if I've seen that be done better than Muhammad did. With it being live in Kuwait, it was kind of cool because I wasn't 100% sure if Starlink was going to work out there. I looked it up, and if you go look on their website, it says that when you go to try to purchase it, it says coming soon in Kuwait. So you can't get the service there yet. Like, you can't sign up for it there yet. But, it uses satellites. So it works there, and it works fantastic. It's so funny because usually whenever I use Starlink here in the US, I'm getting about 10 megabytes upload speed. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was way better there. It was probably like 30 or 40 megabytes upload there, which is really weird. Like, what's different about the satellites there than the ones that are over the US? Now, and is it always the same ones, or do they constantly go around the Earth and always change position? Like, why? Why was it different there than it is? I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird. So weird. I don't know. Do they talk to data centers that are local, possibly, and that's the limiting factor? I don't know. Crazy. But yeah, so we had to use local SIM cards, and I've done this before in Mexico. When we've done live in Mexico, we've done the same thing where we've gotten local SIM cards and used those. And, we've seen the issues of not great cell signal down there as well. It just depends on where you're at. But cell signal where we were out there was fantastic. Had very, very limited issues of the picture not coming through. Great trip, long flights, obviously, but overall just really, really fantastic. Can't think of anything else like technical wise that was out of the ordinary. Everything else was pretty much. Oh, yes. So the SIM cards, we didn't get those until the morning of the race. I had with me, everybody had their phones, and we knew. Okay, so a couple of the rabbits had older phones, So we didn't want to use theirs because they, the cameras wouldn't be as great. So we tested everybody's phones the night before on Wi-Fi. But then when we went to use the phones and put the SIM cards in them, the iPhone that I use for recording locally, it does not have a SIM card slot. And this is the one I gave to Martin to use. And I didn't realize this until that morning, until I went to go try to put a SIM card in it. Something I didn't know, first time I learned it. US made iPhones, older, 14 and older, not the year, but the version, 14 and old and newer, 14 and newer, all don't have SIM card slots. They only have a eSIM. And there's probably a way to get that eSIM to transfer to another network, but I just didn't have time to figure it out. And my personal phone, while I was able to put a SIM card in it, I think it's because of Verizon, it may have it locked down. It wouldn't activate on that SIM network. So there's 2 phones that I couldn't use. Both of the phones I brought were useless. A couple of the UK guys, their phones worked. And I think we ended up using Francesca's phone and Libby Joyce's mom's phone, Katie. So we tried Ryan Atkins's phone. He offered to let us use his, and something, I forget why, but kind of same thing, like either the SIM wouldn't activate, or he didn't have a SIM card, one or the other. So yeah, that was wild, because we were down to the wire, and actually they pushed the race back by 15 minutes, and we were down to the wire, getting those all activated and connected. And even through all that, everything that I had done to set up that those phones were going to come through and connect to the live stream on Rivet, the app that we're currently using still. I think the IP for the computer, I could have swore that I made a new AWS computer, so Amazon Web Services, got a cloud machine that's based out of one of their network server farms in Ohio, and I made a new one that's based out of the Middle East. I forget exactly where, but somewhere in the Middle East, maybe Dubai, somewhere closer to where we were. And because the phones were going to be talking, directly to that. So I wanted just less travel time. Of course, the phones were going to Rivet first. I don't know where their servers are or how that works, so it might not have mattered. But anyway, I guess I forgot to add a public IP, which should make a static IP, basically. Make it to where the external IP that you connect to is always the same. And I swore I turned that on as part of the, I'm transferring a copy of this one server to this other region. And I don't know. I thought I had it selected, and then things weren't connecting. And it was just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then that was it. It was just that the IP was different. So I had to change that. But we got it, yeah, just down the last second. The next day, they actually pushed the whole race back by an hour. Plus, we had everything already figured out. So the second day went, much smoother. The guys did a great job rabbiting. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was super windy out there, and the headsets that I've got, they worked great, man. It's kind of hard to tell that it was actually windy just by listening to the audio. It's very, very pleased with that. Yeah, so that's Kuwait. That's I think that's enough to be said about Mettle Games. This weekend is Spartan, Florida. This is the same venue that it was at last year, so I know for a fact that the cell coverage is pretty poor there. Definitely not, it's good enough that you can like get some text messages out and stuff, but definitely not good enough for live streaming. And so we're going to be recording. We are going to, the races on Sunday. The series is going to be all sprints, and there's 4 races. Charlotte, North Carolina, Big Bear, and Utah are the other races. And I'm going to be at all of those. Hang on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, it's not coming. Yeah, so I'll be there recording. I am planning on running, so the race being on Sunday, I am planning on running the Super on Saturday and making a all obstacles video. I'm hoping to do a kind of a different take on it, where this one I'm gonna do 2 passes on everything, and no, I'm running competitive. I can't do that this time. I gotta save that for a different race. Because I signed up for age group. So yeah, I'll just do it like normal. Nothing special. But later, one of the races later this year, I want to do one where I do 2 passes on everything. One will be like a more conservative option, and then one's a more efficient option to show that. I think that'd be cool. Anyway. But yeah, I'll be there this weekend, and I am home now. And it's time to go get to work on a normal day. Oh, the show we'll be doing Monday night. We haven't nailed down a time yet, just because of some personal conflicts with commentators. But well, it's looking like it might still be Monday night, but we got to confirm. Anyways, thanks for listening to OCR Tech Talk. Sounds like TikTok. OCR Tech Talk is what we're going to go with from here on. I'm not going to change the handles or the, Instagram account or anything like that. I'm just going to change the logo. I literally hand wrote in with a little arrow tech in between OCR and talk. So you'll see what that looks like. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Thanks to Scott Knowles that gave that suggestion, I think, to do OCR Tech Talk. Cool. Love you guys. We'll see you at the races.